You name it, we have it.
Most of all, what do you think of Sri Lanka all in all?
Once the student arrives in the expert office, they get the best guidance for them for their future.
Are there any scholarships that are related that students could expect if they do work hard?
And we are so very thrilled to have such an expert guidance. We are also golden age ranking of 38 in the world. There's no shortcut to hard work.
Yes.
Flinders University, the official agent for Sri Lanka, expert education and visa services, your trusted education partner.
Hello and welcome to another Expert Tea Talk session. Today we're here with Irawati Jangam, the in-country senior representative at Flinders International University. And hello Irawati, how are you?
I'm doing well, Mandara. Thank you so much.
We're glad to have you here, by the way.
Pleasure.
Because I'm pretty sure there's so many students out there who are wondering questions about Flinders University, probably looking for insight to apply.
Absolutely.
So we're so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So speaking about the university and it's your role in the university and probably facilities that the university has to offer, what would you tell the students?
Like I would always like to say, Flinders University in South Australia, situated in the city of Adelaide, is one of the most premier universities, not only in South Australia, but in the whole of Australia itself. We are a very comprehensive university and we have had an establishment of over 50 years. We are a young university, but we are roaring with so much to do in terms of research, courses, over 500 courses to be offered for students coming from different nationalities and cultures. We are ranking so very well in the Times Higher Education ranking. We are also golden age ranking of 38 in the world, which also makes us a very strong choice when it comes to different areas of studies like IT, engineering, business, social sciences, medicine, health sciences, you name it, we have it.
That's great. So for these degrees that you all have and students would love to apply to, are there any scholarships that are related that students could expect if they do work hard and if they're determined enough to get it?
Absolutely, and thanks for bringing that up. Scholarships is a way that a university awards students for their academic performance. We at Flinders University have floated what we call as the Go Beyond scholarships. These are available for students for the entire duration of the program, be it a bachelor's or be it a master's. These are completely academic oriented, so the student needs to just submit his application through the EEVS office or expert office as we are here today. And our team at Adelaide is going to just present them with an offer letter, and as per their academic qualifications and their credentials, they will get a scholarship of 20% or 25%, or even our Vice Chancellor scholarship of up to 50%. And once again, these are for the entire duration of the program.
Right, that's wonderful. So basically, if you work hard and if you're determined enough, then
Absolutely.
you can definitely get a scholarship.
There's no shortcut to hard work.
Yes, that's true. All right, so speaking about the relationship between the Flinders University and expert education, could you elaborate on that for the students?
We have a very long-standing relationship with expert offices, not only in certain areas of certain courses, but we have their offices established in different countries, in different continents, and we are so very thrilled to have such an expert guidance for students. Students can walk into their wonderful offices, which I see that they are very creative in having these offices. Extremely large spaces, good counseling cubicles, very experienced counselors, and of course then there is a support and a very managerial senior staff which sees to it that once the student arrives in the expert office, they get the best guidance for them for their future.
Right. So now that you've visited the expert education Sri Lankan branch, what do you think about the Sri Lankan branch? And most of all, what do you think of Sri Lanka all in all?
I'll start with Sri Lanka on and on, and then because once I start the other way, I will just go on and on. Beautiful country, and culturally we are not very far away from India where I belong to. Both the cultures have had so much of synergy happening with them. So many things have happened. and people with the same kind of mindset are present in both the countries. Education is very important for both the cultures. There is nothing that replaces education, and therefore I must say that visiting the expert offices here now today with you and with the rest of the expert staff, it certainly has fortified my confidence that expert will continue to do wonderful work with Flinders University even in the near future.
That's really great to hear. And speaking of the natural synergy that Sri Lankans and Indians have, so you can also represent the Sri Lankans when you speak about how the Indians usually choose degree programs when it comes to Flinders.
Absolutely.
What their choices are, what are the
Absolutely.
popular programs.
Absolutely.
So if you can just state that for them to
Sure.
know.
So what happens is when we talk of education for Sri Lankans, education can begin at a bachelor's level, that's an undergraduate level. It can also begin at a postgraduate level, and with Flinders University we are very proud to say that we have some of the greatest PhD applicants as well. So having a student apply to us for an undergrad level, be it in business, IT, engineering, artificial intelligence, robotics, or a master's degree in data science, business analytics, or masters of engineering management, it's just a matter of time when the student finds the best fit for his education with us.
That's great. So obviously we all know that with COVID-19 there was a lot of changes that happened to a lot of countries and a lot of universities.
True.
Were there any updates with regards to Flinders University or any other resources that they gave the children with regards to COVID-19 and after that for children to develop?
Whenever there is a situation, or should I say a calamity or an emergency situation, Flinders University along with the federal government has always risen to the occasion and provided a lot of support for students who either stayed back in Australia, stayed back at Adelaide, or did not stay back or could not come back to their country well in time. So in terms of various factors like the Matthew Flinders funds and scholarships, we had raised a lot of offering towards students so that they don't feel the pinch of staying back away from their family in difficult times. Even now, well, the news is even better. There is absolutely full students traffic arriving at Flinders University, and I encourage students to start on their journey.
That's great. So speaking about you and your role at Flinders University, most of the university representatives I've spoken to, that wasn't their first option in their life when it came to their degree choices or their jobs. Was that the same with you, or was that different?
I'd say, well, in this matter, I won't say, well, let me put it this way. Education has been extremely important from me. I also come from a family where we are either all doctors or we are engineers, and we have established small ventures of our own. And so this factor, when it comes to being as a consultant, as a representative for Flinders University, came to me as a natural fit. I felt when it comes to a holistic advice to students going for higher education, be that someone I know personally or someone I don't know personally at all, like I meet in expert offices, my inner self only says to give the best advice. So I feel it's best to be here. It's a good space to be in.
I feel like a lot of students could probably learn from you, like despite having a certain like role models, especially when it comes to India and Sri Lanka, there's like you have to be a doctor, an engineer,
True,
or like
true.
an accountant or something like that,
True.
right? So despite you having so many figures around you, you chose to do what your heart wanted you to do.
Absolutely.
And what you love doing. So I feel like that's a great advice for a lot of students out there to take, instead of following somebody else. Choose what you really want to do.
True. And I always want to tell all the students out there is that the more opportunities they get to meet newer kind of people, newer professions, go out for some internships or some sort of projects, that's the way they will understand that life has so many more options to give, and education is the only way to fulfill that.
That's great. So speaking about Flinders University, is there a final piece of advice you would want to give the children out there when it comes to the application processes or when it comes to applying to the degree they like?
Absolutely. We have in in our entire time with Flinders University, application processes for international students are very clearly defined. It's visible on our website, it's visible through expert offices, it's also visible through someone like me who will meet students in person in their offices. Well, now we can even meet them virtually. The world has opened up to a lot of virtual meetings. So I suggest students to start looking up the different websites that they need to look into in different courses, understand their career options, come down to the expert offices and start their application process. The earlier the better.
It's true. Thank you so much for coming all the way here to answer all of these questions. I'm pretty sure there's so many students out there who gain some knowledge into Flinders University and how to apply and whether that's what they want basically.
Yes.
So for all of you out there as well, hopefully you gain something out of this tea talk session and will hopefully apply if this is what fits for you. Do stay tuned for another tea talk session where you will meet other representatives in other universities so that you can find the university that is fit for you. Thank you so much. See you next time at another tea talk session.
Flinders University, the official agent for Sri Lanka, expert education and visa services, your trusted education partner.